Hi, my name is Bob Bierscheid. I am the retired Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of St. Paul, and previous to that I was Director of Parks and Recreation in Roseville, Minnesota, and previous to that I was Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Education in Marshall, Minnesota. I really got into this career. I spent 42 years in Parks and Recreation, and most of it, except for about 3.5 years when I was in California, most of it was in Minnesota. And the reason I got involved was because of a gentleman named Dick Jorgensen. Dick was the executive director of MRPA at the time. And I was living in California, but we knew we wanted to move back to Minnesota, and I really wanted to get involved in recreation here, but I couldn't afford the membership, the out-of-state membership to MRPA. And Dick Jorgensen said to me, "I'll tell you what, I'm going to send you that information for free, but if you get a job in Minnesota, you have to promise me that you'll get involved in MRPA." And so he did. Dick sent me several job notices, and two of which were I was to interview for the director of the athletic coordinator for MRPA and for the director of Parks and Recreation and Community Education in Marshall. And there was a third one in Skokie, Illinois. So I flew in, had the interview in Marshall, went to Chicago, had the interview in Skokie, and decided I really wanted to go to Marshall. And so I called up Dick and canceled the one for MRPA. But that's kind of the behind-the-scenes story. But it was because of that. And I tried to keep my pledge to Dick in being involved. I have been involved in the association for a long time. I was fortunate to be on the board a couple times. I was the treasurer and then vice president and then eventually president. And I've had great memories. The thing about our field of Parks and Recreation, it's really a collective effort. No one individual can work in the communities that we work with alone, but it's people working together, and not only individuals and staff working together, but it's communities working together. And I've always told people that I'm a legal thief. I never really had any creative ideas myself, but by working with other people in the field and seeing what they were doing, I borrowed their ideas to apply it wherever I was at, and that's what has made it a very enjoyable and career.